Hey guys, you don't even want to know how pissed I am right now. I just recorded a whole video and it didn't record. So we're gonna try this again. This is week 46. It's basically we're gonna talk about things in relationships that are so often tolerated that just shouldn't be. That things that just we let slide that shouldn't slide as far as they do. And sometimes it's because our partner is trans and we don't want to upset the balance, and we think that it's okay to blame the transition on them being a big tool, and it's not. More on that later. But basically, I want to talk about general relationship rules and then trans-specific relationship rules, Alright, so the first thing, my biggest issue because of my past relationships is lying. Like, I have had so many people just bold-faced lie to my face. And it's gotten to the point where I would rather somebody physically cheat on top of me than lie to me. Like, I can't handle it anymore. I can't do it. And it's gotten to the point where it's in every aspect of my life. I just need people to be truthful. And it's not that hard. And everyone acts like it's the hardest thing to just be truthful. Make positive decisions that you're happy with, and it won't hurt as much to be truthful about it. That's a general rule of life. Along the same vein, there's lies by omission, which can actually be worse because a lot of the times people try and let it go like, oh, well, I just didn't tell you, it wasn't a lie. It's still a lie if you knew that not telling the person would benefit you. Like, I could not tell you something about my past, and because I would know it would hurt you and I don't really want to deal with it, that's a lie by omission. That's bad. It's the same thing. It's still breaking the trust. It's still hurting your relationship. Similar lines is cheating. I've never understood cheating. If you're not happy with the person, end it. And go and sow your wild oats wherever you want to. Just, there's no reason to put your partner through that kind of hurt. Like, you don't know what it does to them if you've never been cheated on. If you have, then you know what it does. And why would you do that to the person? Something I wish people realized is that if this person cheats on you, if the person cheats with you, they're going to cheat on you. And I don't understand why it's so hard for people to understand. Like, if person A cheats on person B with person C, and then A and C get together, A's gonna cheat on C because that's who they are. It's part of who you are, and if that's your situation, then fine, just don't try and commit to somebody if you know that you can't handle it. For me, cheating is just not acceptable. It's just not. I don't care if, you're drunk, if you're high, if you're belligerent, I don't care. It's not acceptable. Because, the whole drunk word speaks sober thoughts. Drunk actions express sober desires sometimes, I think. So if you do something when you're drunk, and then you go, oh, no, it's okay, I was drunk, you were probably thinking about it before you became imbibed with alcohol. There's a good chance. Cheating, it's just cheating and lying is all breaking trust, and it's not acceptable. Don't go through their phone. Don't go through their Facebook. If you have a question about something, ask. Don't play games. We're not 13. Like, we're adults. You might be 13 if you're watching this, and I'm sorry, I don't want to offend you, but I'm 25. Like, I'm an adult. I don't need to play games anymore. The time for that is far gone. I don't need to put up with it. If I have a question about something or a question about someone, I will ask it. And then we can have a conversation. Hopefully, it'll answer my query. Breaking trust kind of goes along with general foolishness. Don't be stupid. I mean, trying to think of how to word this. Oh, I talked about going through phone and all that stuff. I've had that happen to me. Had my email and my phone and everything gone through. I've been woken up at 3 a.m. by somebody screaming at me. Like, it's not cool and it's not necessary. Like, if you want to see my phone, I will sit there and scroll away for you because I'm not doing anything wrong. Like, straight up. Okay, sexual and physical assault shouldn't even need to be on here because it's unacceptable as a human being. But I've noticed things from what people have said is that it does go on and it is accepted. No. I've been in relationships where the line was towed between physical assault and just getting really angry. And I've had friends that have been in relationships where the line has been left in the rearview mirror and they've just been physically assaulted and sexually assaulted, and it's not okay. It's never okay. And if you've been through that, I can just tell you it's not your fault and it will be okay in the future. You will get through it. But you need to remove yourself from the situation first. You know, if you're in a negative situation, you need to recognize it and remove yourself from it. Which kind of segues into the part I wanted to talk about, how to know if you're in an unhealthy relationship. What I do a lot when I have to make an emotional decision or one that affects me directly, I take the emotions out of it. I make a list and I try and put myself on the outside of the situation and think, how would I deal with it if it was somebody else? And I think that's the best way to deal with a relationship if you're trying to make a hard choice. So if you're in a situation where your partner is, let's just say verbally abusive, say to yourself, how would I respond to my friend if they came to me with this problem? Would I tell them to get the hell out of there? And if that's the case, then say, why am I different? Why don't I deserve to be happy the same as they do? Why shouldn't I feel safe the same as they do? That's what I do with a lot of situations. You can see I always have a notebook. I carry a notebook with me in my purse all the time if I need to get something out of me onto paper. And it helps a lot. I make lists, I make, flow charts, that kind of stuff. It seems to help. The last part I wanted to talk about is situations that are just trans-related. Sorry, frap break. I feel like I need to say this to every trans guy because I've heard too much of it being accepted. I don't care if you're snorting testosterone. I don't care if you're pushing it directly into your ducts. You don't get to be a dick just because you're on T. That's not the way it goes. You don't get to be verbally, physically, sexually abusive just because you're on testosterone. You don't get to go cheat and sow your oats and all that kind of foolishness just because you happen to be on a medication. It's not acceptable. And if you're saying that you're doing these things because of T, you're a liar. Like, just period. And to all the partners that are taking that crap as an excuse, it's not an excuse. It's just not. There's no reason. All that T does is makes them more themselves, honestly. It's like, it's medication that's righting a wrong, quote unquote, that was done by putting them in the wrong body. So if you look at it, it's really just making them more them. And it's possible that if you're with somebody before transition, you're not going to be with them afterward because you don't like who they become. And that's okay. You don't have to force a relationship you're not happy with just because you have history with the person. I asked Chance about this, what things that are unacceptable. Outing somebody without their permission is a big thing in the LGBT community. Just with anybody, with any part of the alphabet, it should never be done lightly. So it's possible that you're the kind of person that's super open and super into wearing your gender, your sexuality, your what have you on your sleeve, and your partner's not, and they want to live stealth and they want to live their life under the radar, and that's fine, but you have to have that conversation. You have to figure out a way that you can both be happy and comfortable. Like, have that conversation soon if you haven't already, because it's going to affect your relationship if you casually mention in conversation, oh, well, yeah, my partner's trans, and they're not okay with that. You didn't mean it maliciously, you didn't mean to make them uncomfortable or upset, but your action has caused this, so right the wrong. The other thing is, don't bring stereotypes into relationships. I've had relationships where someone says, oh, why do all women do that? I don't know. They didn't talk about it at the meeting. Like, I can't speak for all women. And I don't think it's fair to make your trans partner speak for all trans people. Like, it's not fair. So don't bring stereotypes into it. Deal with the person that you're with as the person that you're with, instead of trying to get them to answer for an entire group of people that they don't have control over. I think that's mostly what I wanted to talk about as far as shit that just we let slide that shouldn't be let slide. Like, it's unacceptable in any relationship. And I think if you're a partner of an F to M person, you're more likely to let it slide because you don't want to disrupt the balance in a life that's already imbalanced. If that makes any kind of sense, I hope. Alright, any questions, comments, concerns, etc.? Post them down there below in the comment section. And if anybody needs any help with anything, if anybody's in a situation where they're being physically or sexually or verbally assaulted by their partner, get help, get out of that situation. It's gonna end poorly. It's more likely to escalate if you don't get out as soon as you can. Alright, so until next time, I will see you guys later.